notice, oh, this guy is struggling. But otherwise, by God's grace, no. Okay. Richard, it's my time to talk. Okay, so everybody listen until I ask a question, then you can answer the question. Other discussions we'll do outside, yeah? Thank you. Okay, so we're going to look at what is called at the time of trouble. How many of you know, I wanted to put a slide and then I didn't put. How many of you know that in Christendom today, they talk about 7 years of tribulation? Yeah? Let me introduce you what that is. It's not here, it's not part of that, but the Holy Spirit told me to tell you this about the time of trouble. What Christendom believes about the time of trouble. In fact, if you want to understand the secret rapture and the 7 years of tribulation, I have a 3-part presentation on our website. You can go and check that and study it in detail. Where did it come from? How did it come? How did it spread around the world? And all of those details. In fact, when I was going on my mission trips and doing seminars for non-Adventist pastors, the first question I would ask them is, now remember, I went to places where people don't understand English, so I have to use a translator. But I told the translator, you keep quiet, I'm going to ask this question in my broken Telugu and use that English term, secret rapture, 7 years tribulation, English term, not the translation. And I said to them in the local language, and I said, how many of you believe in the secret rapture and 7 years of tribulation? Every hand went up. They don't understand English. Can you see how the devil has worked? So, this began with the papal Rome trying to counter the Reformation, which we talked about this morning. And not just that, also, remember Daniel 7:25. Daniel 7:25, the little horn power of Daniel 7 verse 8, which is papal Rome, will come now, which has mouth and speak great blasphemies and has eyes. All of that in verse 8. Verse 25 says, simply he will change times and laws. So, he changed time, pardon? So sorry, I didn't hear. He will seek to change. But that is fulfilled. That's why I'm saying change. He will seek to change times and laws. But now that it happened, it's fulfilled. What is said there is fulfilled. That's history. It's now current. So, he will seek to change times and laws, and he did seek to change times and laws, and he changed it. One time he changed is the Sabbath, which I was telling our dear friend, sister here. 321 AD, March the 7th. Papal Rome used Emperor Constantine, the Roman emperor of that time, to change the day of worship from 7th day Saturday to Sunday first day. And it became a tradition since then. One is that of the time that they changed. And what did they try to change? Laws. They changed the second commandment. They changed the fourth commandment. And also they changed the interpretation of prophecy. 2 Jesuits were raised. Okay? 2 Jesuits were raised. And one of them, Alcázar and Albert Ribera, one of them taught that prophecy ends when Rome falls. That means 476 AD. And there's a gap. They brought about a gap theory. 1,500 pages of gap theory. That means after that 1,500 years, prophecy continues. Meaning, papal Rome of 1,260 days doesn't exist. You understand what I'm saying? So the stigma of the Antichrist is taken away from papal Rome. That's what they did. And so, now they say after this 1,500 years, there will be a secret rapture and there will be 7 years of tribulation. So all the good ones will go in the secret rapture and there will be 7 years of tribulation for people to have a second chance to confess and repent and go with Jesus when he comes. That's the teaching in a nutshell. How did it spread? The devil uses movies to tell what he's going to do. This is not conspiracy theory. I'm telling you for a fact. How many of you know COVID-19?
Oh, yes.
All of you know, yeah? That's a wrong question to ask. The pandemic of the COVID-19, every single detail is in a movie called Contagion.
Yeah.
Released in 2011. Movie was released in 2011. When did COVID-19 pandemic come? 20, end of 2019, and predominantly lockdowns and all came in 20.
I reckon it was on the rise before
Yeah.
2019. Yeah.
So,
If that film was brought up.
every detail of the crisis scenario, social distancing, mask wearing, vaccine, it came from the meat market in Wuhan, from the lab, everything is in the movie. I'm telling you, that's one example. I won't give you so many examples. Let me give you another example. In this 7 years of tribulation, secret rapture, it's released in a movie called, anybody? Left Alone. I'm telling you. I'm not telling you to go and watch all these movies.
It must have been on the rise.
But it has been spread everywhere. Richard, you'll have to hold your peace. Let me talk.
Two events, wasn't it? Before it actually
Yes.
was come out in.
The devil is revealing this. Okay? The devil is revealing this for those who have spiritual eyes to see. I'm telling you. The devil reveals so many things even through cartoons for children. Be very careful. Don't make, let me get rid of my child. He's troubling me. I have to do this work. Put on the TV and let them watch cartoon. Foolishness. Sorry. That's the reality. One cartoon is there, I'll tell you, which is the most dangerous. Let not your children watch those at all. But Satan is revealing through that cartoon. It's called The Simpsons. I'm telling you real time. Everything. So, let's leave that there for now. Amos 3:7 says, God reveals everything. God reveals all secrets through His servants, the prophets. Yeah? Should we believe in the writings of Ellen White?
Yes.
A lot of Adventists think no. That means they don't belong to the remnant of Revelation 12:17. Simple as that. Isaiah 20 also I gave another reference to the law and to the testament. I'll give you another text. 2 Chronicles 20:20. The last part. The last part says, believe in the Lord thy God, ye shall be established. Believe in the prophets, so shall ye prosper. That is God Himself telling. And let me say this before I begin with this presentation of the time of trouble. Ellen White is a biblical time prophet. In the Bible, there are time prophecies. There are a few time prophecies. I have a presentation also, you can look on it if you want. It is called Time Prophecies and Time Prophets. You can study that and see. There's also a presentation, yesterday I talked about, those of you who are not here, on a special resurrection. I have a study on our prophecylive.org website called the 3 resurrections. First is special resurrection, second is general resurrection of the righteous, and the third is the general resurrection of the wicked. Study that. We need to understand so that we can tell the people out there, those who are believers. Okay, so now, coming back to this, what Ellen White is, in time prophecies, let me say this, God gives a prophetic time message to a prophet that He raises. That prophet proclaims the time prophecy. It's a prophetic time period of judgment, and when the time period is about to come to a close, God raises another prophet to warn that the time prophecy is coming to an end and emphasize the judgment, and people are called out. For the 2300 prophecy, to finish this, Daniel was given to proclaim the 2300 prophecy. So he is called the proclaiming prophet. Now the reaping prophet has to come when the time period is coming to an end. When does the 2300 day prophecy comes to an end? 2300 day prophecy. When does it come to an end? Not 1798.
Sorry, Bob, can I just mention something, guys, about you're saying about the film in 2011, and mine were all had different opinions, but it was on the rise. What you say, if they made in like a film of like what you were saying about Contagious in 2011,
yeah,
but then there must have been something there because that's based on. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. But I've heard that.
You don't know all the details. I did a lot of research. You're talking about hear and say, so just hold on to it. I did a lot of research, so I'm talking what is
It's
out
always
there.
like.
Yeah? Okay, so just hold your please. Let me finish. I've got a long presentation to do. I didn't even start it. Okay, so I'm only setting the stage to understand how the devil is working and how God is working. So, Ellen White is raised now. Was Ellen White the first one that God tried to use?
No.
Okay, give me some names.
William.
William, get the name right. Don't give a different name.
Someone Ford. The one.
Ford. Ford is not the name. You're talking about Desmond Ford.
Yes, Desmond.
Desmond Ford was not raised to be a messenger of God. No, that is Desmond Ford went on a wrong route. Leave Desmond Ford out.
No, that's African American, the first one. Forgot his name.
African Arabian is correct. What's the name?
Forgot his name.
Okay, name. William Miller. William is correct. Miller is not that one. He was the preacher preaching the second coming of Jesus Christ. That's a good guess. But his clue, the first name is William. What is the second name? Okay, William Ford. William Ford. William Ford was given visions, and he did a little bit. Now God is working with the scenario. This was the time that black slavery and all was happening in America. Understand the scenario. See how God is working. So God reveals first to this black man. I'm not racist. I'm telling what happened. Okay, so now, but racism affected. That's why I'm telling this. Racism affected, and they did not accept William Ford's message. I'm telling you, read history. So then, what he was trying to do could not progress. So he had to. And then God raised another man.
Yes, another guy.
What's his name?
The Caucasian, white American.
What's his name? Now God raises a white man because the white people are rejected.
Joseph.
No. Okay, quickly. Okay, I'll give you the alphabets of the two names. HF.
Give us the first name. The last name.
Okay, Hazen.
Okay.
Hazen Foss. Okay, Hazen Foss was given the vision. He said, No, I'm not doing this. Then God now chose Ellen White. 17 years of age. Young people, God uses young people mightily in the last days again. Be faithful. He will use those who are faithful. Yeah, so be faithful. So anyway, Ellen White is the proclaiming prophet for the 2300 day time prophecy. She's a biblical prophet. And I preach about this to non-Adventists too. She's not a Seventh-day Adventist prophet. She's a biblical prophet. And the writings that God has given to her is for the world, not for Seventh-day Adventists. Understand this seriously. Okay, let's go on to our presentation to understand the time of trouble. When is it time to lead the cities in the end times?
Yes.
I'm starting with the question. Answer me, please.
Yesterday.
Yesterday is correct. Yesterday is correct. I'll tell you why. Okay, time of trouble is coming. Let's run to the country. What are you going to do there? The place needs to be prepared. You need to prepare the place, till your land, grow whatever you can grow. It takes time and work. That's why yesterday is correct. You remain in the cities. You're asking God for mercy more than He can give. I'm telling you this. You're going to see why. Many do not understand eschatology. After my stroke, sometimes my left side of the tongue doesn't work sometimes on some words. Okay, so the events connected with the time of the close of probation and the work of preparation for the time of trouble are clearly presented. Okay, this is just revision for those who were here last night. Anybody not here last night, you're going to read again. But multitudes have no more understanding of these important truths than if they had never been revealed. Satan watches to catch away every impression that would make them do what? Wise unto salvation, and the time of trouble will find them unready. We went through the prophetic clock yesterday evening. Now let's look at some things. The prophecies in the book of Daniel and Revelation are coming to an end. We touched that briefly in the morning. We are living in Daniel 11 verse 44. 45, it's over. The next verse is Daniel 12 verse 1. Michael stands up. Do you understand where we are? So today we live in Daniel 11 44. What I told you before, I just put it down there. The time of the end, which is tidings from the east and tidings from the north. Sabbath is the seal of God, which is tidings from the east, and tidings from the north is Jesus' second coming. We need to understand this seriously. Okay, let's move on. The book of Revelation is divided into time periods. The 7 churches, 7 seals, 7 trumpets run parallel, concurrent, and most Adventist scholars, Bible scholars, put those dates together. Those time periods happen literally with events that God has revealed. I'm not going into details of all that for want of time. Just to tell you that they run concurrently. Okay, 7 church time period, 7 seals time period, and 7 trumpets time period. We're going to whisk through a little bit to understand what that is. So a brief journey through the book of Revelation. 7 churches is chapters 2 and chapter 3. This is the gospel going forth from Jesus' ascension to heaven, which is in 31 AD. Historical record books very clearly tells us Jesus ascended in 31 AD till his second coming. So today we live in the 7th church. That is why I said I have disease 8. Based on what is written there, the description. You read the description, you are blind, miserable, naked, wretched. Look at the terms. Spiritual AIDS, that's what we have. So now, then you look at the 7 seals, we see the religious affairs since 31 AD till the second coming. 6 seals started in 1755. Did you say you came from Lisbon? You're from Lisbon? Shall I tell you something about Lisbon? Is it okay? You can check historical records to confirm what I said. If I said anything wrong, call me and tell me you told me wrong. I'll stop preaching. You understand what I'm saying? This is the fact of the matter. Lisbon was the headquarters where papal Rome used to plan the Inquisition. Inquisition is a term used for what? Papal Rome sending crusaders and killing people. Lisbon was the headquarters. We're talking about centuries ago, not now. Okay? From 538 AD to 1798 AD, in some of those years, Lisbon was the headquarters. And in Revelation chapter 6, if you read verses 14, 15 and 16, verse 14 talks about an earthquake as never before will happen. It happened in Lisbon. God does not watch people being killed and put a blind eye. Lisbon was destroyed in 1755 with a threefold destruction, not single destruction. This is history. And God said it, He will do it, and He did it. An earthquake happened, a lot of destruction happened. When that people were kind of panicked and finished and subsiding, a tsunami came and destroyed more. When the tsunami receded and kind of they thought it's over, fire broke out and burnt up what was left. Triple destruction in Lisbon. When did it happen? Anybody knows? 1755 is the year, but there's a special day in Roman Catholic practice that happened. Anybody? It was All Saints' Day. Everybody from the region were gathered together in Lisbon. Okay, so 1755 is the sixth seal, the beginning and it ends. And then we live now today in Revelation chapter 7 time period. Sealing is happening. Who is being sealed? Nobody knows. Only when God sees His robe of righteousness covering a person, when the name comes up, he's sealed. Jesus doesn't see His robe, no seal. But you're sealed for damnation. Let me say this, what the Spirit gives me to say. The seal of God is in the forehead only. The mark of the beast is in two places. Where? Forehead and does it say specifically? Right hand. Okay, right hand denotes in the Bible work. That's the explanation in the Bible about right hand. Mark of the beast in the forehead is for those who believe Sunday, for whatever reason they claim it to be, the Sabbath day, and use it as their holy day. If they believe when the time of Revelation 13, 15 to 17 comes, we're not talking about now. When that time comes, passing of the law happens in the world, they receive the mark of the beast in the forehead. What about the hand? Give me some answer. Yes, brother.
Action.
Pardon?
Is the action.
Can we identify a people? Action is true, but can we identify a people? Ellen White explains all this.
Those who are forced by circumstances to accept.
Ellen White explains the scenario. You are saying that very well. That's the principle. But let me say this. Ellen White says, when the third angel's message crisis comes, many Seventh-day Adventists will leave and join the other side. That's clearly written. So, my deduction from that is mark of the beast in the right hand, seal of God. You cannot have both. You have one of the two. Faith, John 10:16. Those who hear and come, they will receive the seal. To receive the seal of God. And some will leave from the seal of God scenario and receive the mark of the beast.